Greetings, loved ones. It's so good to be back on YouTube. Sorry, my voice is quite scratchy, but I am very enthused to be talking to you guys again today. I've taken a little break because honestly, I've had all my priorities set on building my business right now as a career strategist, working with my twin sister. That has been thrilling, and I am just so invigorated by the work I'm doing of helping young professionals really get into fulfilling mission based careers where their gifts are actualized and used in service to the world. That means everything to me. And because, everyone wants to make a difference, right? So I help people make a difference while also being paid for it. So I love what I do, and I've also done some work with dancers as well to enhance their performance and their experience in the studio, because it just kills me to know that there's going to be another season passing this year, or another school year, or whatever kind of phase you're in within dance, where you're getting to live the dream, but it actually feels like hell for you. And that just kills me to know that so many people are so privileged to dance. And when I was injured, I would have given anything to dance, but I know what it's like to be in ballet and not be able to enjoy it because you're giving your happiness to someone else. As it's like you give the key to your feelings and your view of yourself to a director who you're hoping will say yes to you, or the way your body's feeling. We just give permission away to outside sources that are completely unreliable, to give us a sense of joy and well-being. So it just means the world to me to put that permission back in someone else's hands, and that's a part of the work I do. So anyway, just wanted to tell you a bit more about what I'm doing. If you'd like to reach out to me to have a coaching conversation and just discover if this could be something that could change your life, I have my business email address listed down below, so feel free to reach out to me. I would absolutely love to hear from you. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I want to talk to you guys about how to not care what people think. This also means a lot to me in light of what I just said. So there's going to be a lot of my heart speaking and a lot of energy in this video, probably because I, as a teacher now as well, I still teach ballet at night, and I love that so much. I wouldn't give it up for the world. It really means a lot to me that my students understand that no correction is meant to undermine their sense of self. And I hope they really feel from me that I want people to be empowered and to have a sense of humility and curiosity with life, and always be wondering, what can someone else teach me? What can this experience teach me? Regardless of how that experience made you feel or that person made you feel, it's really important for me to convey the message that it's all in your hands, who you give permission to or what you give permission to influence the way you see yourself and the way you feel in your life. So that's why I want to talk about how to not care what people think. First, I want you to just get this in your head. You can never assume that you can know specifically and accurately what is going on in someone else's head who's giving you some sort of vibe. Like, say a teacher gives you a correction, or she or he looks at you when you're dancing and you assume that it's a disapproving look. Okay, just know that people in general are not perfect at using their faces to convey what they're thinking. And even so, you wouldn't want to know what all of someone else is thinking. So it's up to you whether or not you want to spend your time and energy speculating on what someone else is thinking about you. Just take whatever feedback you can and use it appropriately according to how you want to feel about it, if you believe it's constructive to you. The other thing is, be extremely conscious of who has good, pure intentions for you, who has love for you, who wants you to succeed, who wants you to improve. Those are the sorts of people you can earnestly get corrections from. These are the people you can listen to and trust for guidance. You will know in your intuition and in your heart who doesn't have good intentions for you, whether that be an authoritative figure or a colleague or a fellow dancer, whatever it is. And once you assess what another person's intentions are for you, you can directly use that as information as to whether or not or how much you should listen to another person. Also, going back to my original point, just know that every single person, no matter how selfless or selfish, is thinking about themselves and how they are presenting themselves in any moment and what they want or what they want to avoid. They're thinking about that always more than they're thinking about not just you, but anyone else. We are all thinking about ourselves. So again, if you want to spend all your time and energy speculating or caring about what other people think of you, know that this is A, first a form of selfishness, B, you are giving other people the power to dictate how you think and feel about yourself. So first, you must decide, this is the key, you must decide what you want to believe about yourself. This is something that you decide preemptively so that your subconscious mind can then do the work of seeking evidence for you in your life as to why this is true. So here's how it works. First, find a sentence or some succinct belief that you would like to have about yourself, that you believe is an integral part of getting the success you want. For instance, you could choose, I am a hardworking, smart dancer. Something like that. So it's action oriented, and it has everything to do with what you are in control of, okay? So you can say, I am a successful dancer, but then you have to go into what success means for you. What is your definition of success? And oftentimes people define success on some outward marker that they're not directly in control of. So choose a belief that is in your realm of control and it's action oriented, so that you can shape your actions to suit this belief. So the reason I'm going into this is because you need to know, first, the brain is very powerful. However, it's kind of silly in the fact that it is not able to it is not able to tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It sounds crazy, but it is so true, because we all think that we're in touch with reality, but honestly, reality is a completely subjective experience. It is the way you experience life according to what you believe about life and what you're looking for and what you've trained your subconscious brain to search for, okay? Because your brain picks up, or your subconscious mind is picking up about 2.5 billion pieces of information at any given moment, which is a lot. However, you are only consciously aware of about 128 pieces of information. This means that your subconscious brain is ordered by this filtration system based off of the things you've experienced, negative and positive feedback you've gotten in your life, things you believe about yourself. So, this is the power of the mind. You can reorder your perspective and your filtration system to get and see exactly what you want and to experience life the way you want to experience it. So, get that belief I talked about. From there, visualization is an extremely powerful tool. So here's how we're going to use it. Whether you want to open your eyes or close your eyes, really sit and concentrate and develop an image in your mind of exactly what it will look like to embody this belief. What will happen? How will you be presenting yourself? You can be imagining yourself in your mind's eye in a ballet studio, feeling what it would feel like to completely understand how to execute a combination after the teacher demonstrates once, to instantly pick it up, to feel powerful, to feel in control of your body. You can simulate this experience in your mind. And I would recommend that you dwell on this specifically morning and night, because that's when your brain is most open to suggestion and learning. It's very malleable at that time. You're like in a semi-hypnotic state. This is so cool. From there, when you're visualizing, it will become more vivid and more powerful. That is how you reorder your brain's filtration system in order to start seeking evidence in your daily practice. It could be in the studio as to why that belief is true. Here's how it works without us recognizing it most of the time. From a young age, we start assuming that people think we're not very good at ballet, or we start taking on these negative beliefs. It could be, oh my gosh, people are just, they don't believe I'm very good, and over there she's talking about me, they're talking about me. And if you are assuming the belief that people want to talk about you and they think you're so atrocious at what you do that they would be talking about you, wasting their life, doing that negatively about another person. If you start to believe that, you are telling your subconscious mind to look for evidence as to why that is true. And that is exactly how one becomes so ingrained in this feeling of being so belittled and being someone who isn't deserving of going out there and showing what they can do. Instead, they are afraid, they contract because they think, they're so self-conscious about what other people think, because they've taught themselves to do things like speculate that other people think they're no good. I hope that's making sense for everyone and that you're tracking. So visualization and adamantly identifying with what you want to believe about yourself. So that's the action item I want to share with you guys. But I just want you to know that ultimately it's completely up to you what you allow to determine the way you feel about yourself. My goal for everyone is that they know that this is a feeling that comes from within. It doesn't matter how many people say no to you. It doesn't matter what authoritative figures say things to you that feel disapproving. It doesn't matter whose negative energy is going on around you. You can know from within that you dictate your life experience. You don't dictate every outcome and everything that happens, but you are in control of how you think about it, how you feel about it, what you choose to give permission to in regards to allowing other people to tell you who you are and how you should feel about yourself. You're in control of all that. And like I talked about, you can determine other people's intentions, and you can decide who you give permission to dictate, again, your experience and how you feel about yourself. But I do want to make you aware of an exception to this. I don't want a lot of you who are very young to assume that, well, this is something that happens a lot, that all comments, corrections, or opportunities presented to you for improvement are bad. And I don't want you to assume that if someone says something you don't want to hear, that you should ignore it. Because some really, really valuable corrections are the ones you don't want to hear because you know they're true. However, you can decide from that feeling what you want to make that mean about you, So just because, like for me, I was told a lot that my turnout wasn't very good. And there were a lot of times I let that mean that I would never be a dancer. Instead, as I grew older, I decided that I thought, sure, it hurts a little bit, but there's a lot of truth to the fact that I'm not super turned out. However, I'm in control of how I act in response to that. So I actively sought out anything I could do to make my turnout better. And that is the empowered way I want people to go through life. As a general rule, I want you to understand that every situation, no matter how it makes you feel, and every person has something to teach you. Every experience has something to teach you. So I want you to be humble as to have the space in your life to grow, to change, have that behavioral flexibility that is the trait of a successful person. I want you to have that humility about you, where you're able to ask yourself, how can I be better as a result of what I learned? And then immediately put that into action. I want you to always be reflecting on how everyone can be your teacher and also your student. I want you to know that the way you present yourself is also teaching a lot to other people around you. No matter how old you are, what experience you have, or what your title is, every single person is a student and a teacher. So be humble, be curious, and most of all, the technique I want you to use is to reflect on how every single situation provides you with certain learnings, certain information. From information, in order to turn this into knowledge that is usable for you and that changes you into the person you want to be, you need experience. So what you do is you take the information, then you assess, how will this affect my actions? How will my actions change as a result of what I learned here? When you start turning your learnings into action, you get experience and you get knowledge. This is wisdom that you can use in your life and share with other people. And that attitude and that way of life will be your most valuable asset. So I hope that you guys really learned how to live in a way that is constantly making you better and is also giving you this exciting experience of life where you constantly get to learn and you also get to be in control of the way you perceive yourself and the way you respond and the way you act. That is truly how to be in control of your own life. It is not controlling every outcome, because truly the world is so much bigger than us. There are so many forces outside of us that are going to dictate the way things turn out. You're not in control of all that, but what you are in control of is the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, and what you decide to do with all that. So I hope that this was really helpful to you. I will try to remember to type out the main points of this so you can take the action items with you of the visualization, and after choosing what beliefs you want to have about yourself that are geared towards attaining the success you want. And then also the reflection into editing your action piece. Those are two really, really crucial things. Other than that, I typed out this whole document with a bunch, it's like kind of like another essay, I suppose, of all my thoughts that are related to what I shared in this video, and I will be sharing it with my patrons on Patreon. Thank you to all of you guys who are over there. Otherwise, I've got a few more exciting videos coming up, so I hope you'll stick around for that and subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!